Hey guys, Sean here at the house, trying to give you some tips and hints on how to buy wakeboard bindings. What I'm trying to do is just give you some general information on things to look for and different ideas on how you should purchase your next set of wakeboard bindings. I want to do a few key points, just going to run through. In general, we've already gone through some of the wakeboard stuff prior on different videos, so if you haven't seen that yet, check that out too. But what you want to do is you want to match your boot or binding setup to your wakeboard. In general, you don't want to buy a super high-end wakeboard and then buy the lowest point boots you can get, or vice versa. If anything, your boots are more crucial than your board, but definitely try to match them up. First thing I want to talk about is figuring out sizing. There's a lot of different ways that boots are sized out there nowadays. Generally on your more entry-level boots, what they're trying to do is give you a various sizing so that you can fit a few different people in there. So if you're trying to fit something for your whole family, or you got a couple brothers and sisters or whoever, this way you can try to match up your foot size with a boot that will do the same. What a lot of the companies are going to do now is they're actually getting into full lacing systems. There's a lot of variations of this, but generally on the simpler stuff you're going to see a single lace, maybe a pull tab on the front, and all they're trying to do is allow you to open this boot up and be able to get your feet in there super easy and fit a few variations of sizes. A lot of times too, what they want to do is make a boot that's going to open up or collapse depending on what size foot you're putting in there. So this guy, for example, right here is a pretty simple boot. Built-in liner, opens up real far, real easy to get into. Does have a lot of stretch to the front, so it's easy to get different sizes of feet in there. And then it's a single pull lace just to make it nice and easy to get it super tight. As you work your way up, you're going to see a few of these things change. You're going to maybe see a little bit better footbed. You're going to see a little bit better liner setup, or you're going to see a different kind of lacing setup. So other laces that you are going to see out there, and just depends on the company, you're either going to see, we have some Velcro. Liquid Force here has brought back a totally different system with 3 different Velcro pieces. Or you can have your classic on this Ronix with, again, but now a double lace rather than a single lace. So you can tighten the bottom and the top separately, giving you a better overall feel. Some of the bindings even out there are going to have a combination of the two. So here's a new one for this year. You got a full lace bottom, 2 Velcro loops on top. Lets you kind of change it up a little bit and make it quick and easy. Now with the liners, you're going to see a few different setups. Like we talked about before, the simple stuff is usually just going to be built in. You got a tongue and a back. And you're going to see that on a few different ones. So like this guy here, same kind of setup. They're going to make it a little bit stiffer boot, but then they're adding the Velcro just to make it a quick and a better adjustment so you can get it more fine-tuned. So very similar boots, but definitely a little fine-tuning here. So you might see a slight price jump to something like this. Other ones you're going to see will have a separate liner system. So this guy here from Slingshot is going to have a fully separate liner. They're trying to make it so that you have a little bit more specific fit. So a lot like a snowboard boot would do. They'll have a full wrap on the inside, and then you have your outer shell to tighten down over it. With a lot of these liners too, nowadays you're starting to see some stuff where they're heat moldable even. So you're going to get a lot better fit and a lot more comfort. There's other systems too, same kind of thing, like this one here. What we've come up with, or I should say other ones, like full wrap liners. So this guy is very similar to this one, but it's actually built into here, but it's still separate from your actual outside of your boot. So again, you're getting a nice wrap around your leg, and then you can tighten the outside. It makes the boot a little bit more comfortable and also more rigid. Now as you go up in the boots, generally the boots are going to get more comfortable and more supportive as you go to a higher end boot. What they're trying to do is give you more performance and more response for that better rider. At the entry level, they want to give you a little leeway or just something easy to work with and comfortable. Now also they will do different footbeds on a lot of these, and this is going to vary between different companies. So I just want to give you some general information. The main idea, they actually want to make them as comfortable as possible and as squishy as possible, but they also want to make them as responsive as possible. So as you work your way up in the line of bindings, you're going to see a few different attributes. So we'll take this guy for instance. Very simple boot. And they have one attachment that comes on, and then you'll actually lock each side down on the outside, trying to keep the weight down, but also give you a lot more options to work with. As you work your way towards the higher end, you're going to see them try to make them lighter. So great, for instance, here, I'll just use these two boots as an example. They're actually taking a lot out of these boots. The centers on the bottom of these are actually hollow. So you're not getting a very hard piece on there, but they're trying to make them real lightweight and real squishy. So this guy's got an air pack in there. So does this one. Other things you'll see from companies too is they'll actually add a cross section to a lot of their boots. So what they're going to try to do is attach all the way across the boot. Same thing on this guy, just without the plate on it. What they're trying to do with these then is when you go to turn, rather than having a flex point through the center, this boot will actually be more responsive with the board because you're pulling from the far edges of the boot. So that works again, same idea with these guys. It's fully integrated all the way through the top, so they're trying to transfer that weight right to your edges so you can do that, but also make the boot very light. Again, this is going to play on that cost a little bit on your boot, but you're definitely getting a higher performance, much more comfortable boot. So there's a few other mounting systems out there too that I didn't talk about. I'm going to talk about this because it's unique to two companies, Company Wag and Slingshot. What they've done is designed a totally different binding now that actually utilizes a 4-hole pattern just like you would have on your snowboard. This guy is actually going to mount through the boot rather than the outside. Little different idea, but again, these are the two companies that are doing flex boards. If you go back to the board section that we talked about, that'll show you it there too. So in a quick overview, there's a few different key features that are going to make you have a decision on what you're looking for. So you're going to talk about your lacing system. Is it single lace, double lace? Do you have Velcro on there? You're going to talk about your liners. Are they a simple liner, easy to get into and designed for various sizes? Or is it a more specific liner that's designed a lot like a shoe or a regular boot where you're going to have a 9, a 10, an 11? What are you looking at? Now, a good general rule, look at the cost or at retail of what these are. Again, like I said before, your boots and bindings are going to be pretty similar to matching up with your board. So as you go up, you should see some of these features get added to each boot that you're looking at. So kind of keep that in mind, and that's going to give you a good general idea of what you're looking at. Now again, each company is going to have a few different features, but definitely try to pick them out because a lot of them are very, very similar. They might just have different names.